Hi everyone. We've had a crazy 24 hours. That started with a gash in Mark's head and a trip to the ER and oh, so gross. So it's currently Saturday. So this all happened on Friday. So I'm gonna kind of talk you through the story, show you, and then we'll have we'll have normal vlog throughout this whole thing, the kids and all that stuff. But I want to tell you the story first because it's gross and awful and not fun. So I wasn't home from work yet. Mark was home with the kids. Say hi, Marky. Okay, I'm in some random hallway in our house. Our bedroom's right here. So we live in a 90-year-old house, almost 90 years old, like old house. It's a pier and beam house, so that means like we don't have concrete under our house. We've been having some plumbing issues under our house, which isn't a big deal when it's a pier and beam. Like our plumber was here last week fixing something and he said if this had happened in a house that wasn't pier and beam, it would have cost $3,000 to $4,000 at the least, and it was like $125 because you get right under the house, you're right there, you fix it, and you move on. You don't have to remove anything. But the whole situation of the plumbing issues, we had to figure out how to get down under the house, like a big enough place to get down under the house. So a couple weeks ago, Mark figured out how to get under the house so he could get in there and look and then get the plumber and do all of our stuff. So this is what it is. So this goes under our house. What is this, Mark?
What was it? It was an old furnace.
Excuse his hair because I just did his hair and it looks very girly the way I did it, but that's the only way I know how to do it. Okay, keep going.
Just washed my wound.
Okay, let's just move on. What is this?
It's an old furnace that they repurposed to be an air intake for our air conditioner heater HVAC system.
Okay,
so like the
can
air
I lift it up?
Yeah, the air gets sucked in. I can lift it up.
Well, be careful.
The air gets sucked in for our air conditioning right here.
Alright, so he built this a week ago where it has like that air intake thing. Then we can pull this side out and get under the house. And then it goes like 4 or 5 feet in. So Mark was in there, like standing there, and you stand up and it's like from here up. Like it's not your whole body. So you have to kind of get down underneath it to, like you can stand in it. Okay. So he was standing there, the kids were here, the dogs were here, I wasn't home from work yet, so he set it up like this, and I know all of you are going to say that was not a smart decision. He knows that, don't you?
But it was so that our kids and dogs wouldn't come fall in the hole.
But it wasn't a smart decision.
Right,
now that we've gone through what we've gone through, right. It was not a wise decision, and I don't recommend it. So we don't need your comments about it.
I've taken this apart like 20 times, and I've never done it this way.
So
it was stupid.
He set it up like this.
It weighs 40 pounds, so it's a heavy thing.
So he set it up like this to keep the dogs and the kids out, because this is a giant hole right here when he pulls this thing out, okay? So he was standing here, and we're not sure how it happened. I know you're self-conscious. I'm not going to show you so much.
About what?
Because your hair looks like a girl. So this was sitting up like this, and somehow, we don't know if it was a dog. It was definitely not a kid. Or if it would just became unstable, it fell on him, and his head, well, he was kind of like bending down in here, and it hit his head. So here's the craziest part, is he had a hat on, like a baseball hat. He always has a baseball hat. And so what I'm about to show you, I'm going to show you up close. And I know I look terrible. It's just a whole thing. It's been a long night. So when it fell on him, like it didn't cut the hat, but you'll see, like if he hadn't had his hat on, it would have legit gone down to his skull. Skull? Skull.
Skull.
Skull. Skull. That's a weird word. But the hat protected him a lot. So if we hadn't had the hat on, ooh, it would have been so much worse than it is now. So this is what went through his head. So one of these metal grates, and see like how, so it's like an inch deep, and it's just as straight as a board, just metal, and it's old metal, fell on him. Hi, Mandy. It just fell right on his head. So he said he was like, ow. And he had his hat on, so, I mean, if he hadn't had his hat on, he would have been pulling that metal grate out of his head. You realize that, right? Like, that is so disgusting. Blech, vomit. And so he was like, ow, that really hurt. So he took his hat off and put his hand on his head, and he looked at it, and he was like, it looked like I was finger painting with red paint. Like, there was blood everywhere. So he calls me, he's like, hey, I think I just gashed my head open. So I come home, and I look at it. Now, he had been putting a lot of pressure on it, and there was some blood, and the hat had stopped it. We had thought the hat had really protected him. So when I looked at it, I tried to, like, pry it open. I mean, that's the only way to see, because it didn't look open. It looked closed. And that it was, like, just a really good scratch. Because, again, he had a hat on. We thought, oh, maybe we're just really lucky. So I tried prying it open. Nothing came open. I tried pretty hard. Nothing came open. So I was like, I think we're okay. So we're like, okay. So the bleeding stopped. A few hours later, we put the kids to bed. I'm like, okay, we're going to clean it and make sure everything's good and all that. So I start cleaning. I get a Q-tip. I'm cleaning it. And once I start cleaning it and getting the dried blood off of it, it started opening up. Oh my gosh. It was so terrible. And so as calmly as I can, and I didn't see if the whole thing opened, because one little space of opening up to your skull is enough for me, because that's disgusting. So I was like, okay. It was like 9 o'clock last night. It's like, we are gonna go to the emergency room because I think it's open. And his face was like, what? I'm like, yep. So we called Jeremiah. Jeremiah was out working. He does like deliveries in his car, so he can come home if he needs to. So he's like, okay, once I'm done with this delivery, I'll come home. And so we had our neighbor come over and just sit here so we can just get going. We go to an emergency room right down the road. And I'm not kidding you guys. It looked like 20 people were dying in that emergency room. I'm not exaggerating, am I? I mean, people were different colors, barf bags. Oh, so bad. And people had like dinners and cups. I'm like, what in the world? And this person behind us made a phone call. They're like, yeah, we're 5.5 hours in. Like, oh, heck no. So Mark goes and checks in, and they told us it's a 7-hour wait. It was like 9:30 on a Friday night after a full week of work. And I was like, oh my gosh. I swear I would have had the coronavirus by the time I left there. Like, it was disgusting. So we ended up going to one of those like more like smaller ERs that aren't like a public hospital. And I guess people don't go there as much because their doctors aren't there. They don't take Medicaid, things like that. But honestly, if I pay more money for not waiting 7 hours, it's so worth it to me. So worth it to me. So we go in, we're in and out in 20 minutes. So we go in, and when they clean it, and I looked at it, and it was open. The whole thing was open after they cleaned it and scrubbed it. They numbed him with shots, and then they put 4 staples in his head. And then we were in and out. And my insurance, and we have great insurance for like everyday care, but our insurance is not that great for emergencies. So we have like a $5,000 deductible. We had to pay out of pocket until we hit $5,000. It's not gonna be pretty, y'all. And we left, and the lady was like, well, you don't have a copay, and your deductible's pretty high. And she just looked at us, she goes, so I'm really sorry. You'll be billed in the mail. Oh, God. So we don't really know what's coming. Okay, so this is not Jeremiah, in case anyone's confused. This is one of his best friends, Kel. Look how handsome he is. So what are you going to?
A banquet for national appreciation of colored people.
I'm so excited. It's some scholarship thing he's going to. And he looks so handsome. Jeremiah's off working. He'll be back in a little bit. But we're getting Kel ready. He looks so cute. I'm proud of you, Bubby.
Thank you.
He's going by himself. He's going to college in a few months. I taught him when he was like 13.
I don't think it was 13. It was like 15.
You were in 8th grade.
I was 13.
You turned 14 in 8th grade.
Wow.
That's 4 points for the J Tatum. Give it to me.
Send the ball.
That,
You gotta give him a lead.
yes.
I won.
No, that's 1
That was a
point.
touchdown.
I got 4 points.
Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it.
Look! Yeah. I don't think Jeremiah's been on it since you've been back.
Yeah.
He's a grown man, going to college in a few months.
I'm Sonic the
Couple
Hedgehog.
tattoos.
Okay.
Wave still going.
He's so big. It's going to be a bad day when he moves to college for this mom.
Yeah, you're gonna start crying.
So there was one thing that I wanted to bring up. Malia, I've noticed, she always brings up things like, Mommy, when I work at Chick-fil-A when I'm older, are you still going to be my mommy? And she'll say, when we get older, Mommy, are you still going to be our mommy? And she'll ask me questions like, are you going to be my mommy when I'm older? Don't you?
Yeah.
And then she'll say, when I get older, I'm going to be sad that we're not together. Why do you think that?
I don't know. I don't know.
What do we always tell you?
I don't know.
We say we always will be your mommy and daddy.
I'm glad
Don't we?
I'm glad you'll always be my mommy and daddy.
Always.
Yay.
But I don't know if it's like an instinctual thing from the first 18 months. And I don't know if it's like a thing that she's always going to wonder. But we do tell her all the time. Because she questions like what, once a month?
Bring up the D word.
Don't bring up the D word. I mean, everyone's going to die. Anyways, I just thought it was interesting. I don't know. And someday I should tell, because I think it's been long enough now, Jay, your story about us taking your pacifier away when you were 2 used to make me cry every time I told that story. So I couldn't.
Remember the time that I lost my pacifier?
But there was one thing in particular that happened that I don't talk about because it makes me sad.
Dumbo?
But that was the only time I ever saw like an instinct of his from when he was little, because he was 9 months old when he came into our little family.
9?
But she was 18 months. And so I just wonder if some things are instinctual. Jeremiah, how are you feeling? Are you worried that we won't be here forever?
Sometimes. When I go to college.
Yeah, you're going to wish we weren't around. Sometime I want to do like a Q&A just for you.
Malia, that's what Malia's good at doing.
What?
Asking a million questions.
Say your favorite quote from the Sonic movie.
Gotta go fast.
What about there's like the fish. Oh, honestly.
Honestly, it feels like I'm running my whole life.
What about the fish one?
Oh, I'm wet, I'm cold, there's a fish on my head, and clearly I'm not going to be able to do this on my own. Bye.
That's
Sonic's
from the new Sonic movie.
Sonic's
Have you seen it yet, Jeremiah?
No.
You haven't gone with your friends, your
So-
18-year-old friends, and seen the Sonic
It's
movie?
something on my head.
Okay, everyone stop.
Okay, is this
I'm going to ask a question, and I want you to think about the answer. Don't say it. All 5 of us, everyone in the family has to answer this question. In their head, don't say the answer. Out of all 5 of us, who talks the most? Okay, think about who. Malia, who do you think talks the most?
Yeah.
You?
Yeah.
Out of the 5 people that live here, who talks the most?
Malia.
You think Malia?
Yeah.
Daddy, who do you think talks the most?
I think you talk the most.
Me?
For sure. To me.
Well, yeah. I think proof's in the pudding right now. All
I
right.
think Jay talks the most.
No,
Yes.
I mostly say gotta go fast.
No.
He does talk a lot.
You talk a lot.
Malia does.
This is a hard question. Who talks the least, everyone?
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah.
He'll text the most, though. I vote...
Really?
I don't know. Both the littles talk a lot.
I don't.
Constantly, y'all talk. All the time.
You wish I was
being a
quieter?
Huh?
You wish I wasn't a talker? Cool. I'll be like you.
There's no way you could ever
Starting
be.
now, go.
Yeah, I don't think you could. What did Sonic say? My life is like a what? Living my life too fast. What did he say? I have fish on my head. Fish on my head like Jay.
No, I think he said, there's a fish on my head. I have no idea where I'm going. You shot me. You shot me.
I wonder what he said. Do you know what he says?
Mm-hmm.
Jay, what did he say?
It's hard, isn't it?
You don't know?
You gonna beat him up?
It can't be.
I think Sonic is way slower than Tails.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Sonic is definitely the slowest of all the super. I don't even think Sonic's a superhero either.
No, he's not a
He's not even a
hedgehog.
comic book character.
Yeah, he's not. I don't
He's
even
not.
think he can run fast.
What?
What does Sonic do?
Did it.
Sonic, I bet a turtle could beat Sonic in a race.
Yeah, I think
Like a
so.
slow turtle.
Solid turtle.
Yeah.
Or Mandy could either.
Mm-hmm.
This is the quietest I've ever.
Mandy's
Seen
the
him
fastest
ever.
ever.
What's the girl's name in Jay's class that he likes?
Kate?
Kate?
Emma? Or
Sarah?
Kate? Pfeiffer?
Oh, your girlfriend,
Oh,
Kate?
no.
Oh, got him!
I like her but in a good way.
So that mean you like her
What
as
do
a
you mean?
girlfriend.
Like, I like her as a friend.
That's fine. You can just like her as a friend, baby.
Good job, Jay.
You don't like her as a girlfriend no more?
No,
Why not?
because I don't like her as a girlfriend.
We're gonna finish this, guys.
Bye.
We'll see you later. Thanks for coming today.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast. Bye, y'all. Bye.